Then, in the pre-operational stage, child is normally self animism. Know the difference between baby and you take a people fail years. Then ecocentrism will also begin in the future state. Centration, focus like one thing and one time. Multi-purpose mechanism. Then lack of conservation, irreversibility is also there in pre-operations of family cannot very good books. Then single waste books. So in pre-operational stage, child monologue, self-talk, animism, ecocentrism, celebration, lack of conservation, irreversibility, and single waste book. Child monologue, animism, egocentrism, irreversibility, symbol based. Okay. Then third stage is conflict operational stage. Second to 11 years. Logical thinking, any conflict thinking will be complete operational stage. Then reversibility, then conservation, then simulation. Thank you so much, Spice Alone BD. Then simulation, then decrease in egocentrism. Okay, in complete operational stage, there will be decrease in egocentrism. Whereas in pre-operational stage, egocentrism is present. So when you become 7 to 11 years, egocentrism begin to decrease. Also classification and inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning that is from basic to advanced. Inductive reasoning is from basic to advanced. Then formal operational stage. It will be from 11 plus years. Here, thinking will become hypothetical. That is from concrete thinking, which is in complete operational stage. Thinking will become hypothetical. Also deductive reasoning and divergent thinking. Okay. So formal operational stage with three main points. One is hypothetical thinking, what that is abstract thinking, then deductive reasoning, and then divergent thinking. This is the moral development theory by Lawrence Kohlberg, which was an American psychologist born on October 21st, 1927, and died on January 1987. So, moral development theory was given by Lawrence Kohlberg, which was an American psychologist born on 25 October 1927 and died on 19 January by suicide. Okay. So, moral development theory first, moral means to decide what is right and what is wrong with moral reason. Moral here is decide right and wrong with moral reason. Now, some precepts. First one is the moral realism. Rules are unchangeable or fixed. Divine genius. Rules can be changed. Moral realism means rules are unchangeable or fixed. That is divine life. Then comes the moral dilemma. Moral dilemma, you cannot or not able to choose between two. Okay. Moral realism means rules unchangeable or fixed only divine life. Moral dilemma, you are not able to choose between two. What is right and what is wrong. Then comes the third concept. which is the moral reason. You choose one item thing by giving some reason. Okay. So first, moral realism, यहाँ पर means बिल्कुल unchangeably fixed. Then comes the dialogue. That means you are not able to choose between two. Then comes the reason, which means that you can choose one out of two, and you are giving some reasons that why you choose that specific one. That is the moral reason. Okay. The next concept is the moral cooperation. Moral cooperation is the opposite of moral realism, which means rules can be changed. Realism, rules are unchangeable or fixed divine life, and in corporations, rules can be changed. Then, based on Hans dialogue, first, criticism, we have a Carol Gilgany, moral development theory, इसके ऊपर based है Hans dialogue के ऊपर based है. Then, इसमें Lawrence ने divide किया था moral development theory को three levels and six stages. Three levels हमारे होंगे pre conventional, that is distributive realism. Then second होगा conventional, that is moral realism. And then third is the post conventional, that is moral propagation. Okay, so moral development theory by Lawrence Goldberg has three levels and six stages. One is the pre-conventional level, which is also known as distributive realism. Okay. Then conventional, which is also known as moral realism. Pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional, also known as distributive realism, moral realism, and moral cognition. Pre-conventional distributive realism is here with studying morality and truth. Then, co-putting inverse and conventional representation moral realism and the 30 years. Then post-conventional level, which is also known as moral proposal, 13 plus years. Okay, so each level is divided into two stages. Level 1, pre-conventional, divided into two stages. Stage 1 is the obedience and punishment. Stage 2 is individualism and exchange. Okay. Stage 1, obedience and punishment. Stage 2, individualism and exchange. Here, stage 2 is also known as tit for tat stage, self-interest stage, personal reward orientation, and instrumental purpose orientation. Okay. So, four other names of stage individualism and exchange: tit for tat, self-interest, personal reward orientation, instrumental purpose orientation. Then came stage 4, good interpersonal relationship, which is the good boy, good girl stage. Conventional level moral realism, हमने पढ़ा था, rules are unchangeable or fixed. So conventional level 10 to 13 years of age. Stage 3, good interpersonal relationships, good boy and good girl image. and low and order orientation. Okay. So level one, which is known as pre-conventional level, also known as moral distributive realism, 4 to 10 years. Stage one, obedience and punishment. Stage two, individualism and exchange, also known as tit for tat, self-interest, as well as instrumental purpose orientation and personal reward orientation. Then came stage two, level two, that is conventional, also known as moral realism. Stages: good boy, good girl, good interpersonal relationships, low and order orientation. Okay. Now, in the post conventional level, social contract orientation. Low and order orientation will be in conventional level. Social contract orientation, also known as self morality. When you are aware what is wrong and what is wrong. And six is the universal principles. Okay. So, moral development theory was given by Lawrence Kohlberg, which was an American psychologist born on 25 October 1927, died on 19 January 1987 by suicide. Moral here means decide what is right and what is wrong with moral reasoning. Moral development is continuous throughout the lifetime. Then comes some concept. One is the moral realism, where rules are unchangeable and fixed. Then comes another concept that is moral dilemma, which means you are not able to choose between two. Then moral reasoning, you choose one out of two by giving some reason why you choose that one. And moral cooperation is the opposite of moral realism, where rules can be changed. Now, moral development theory is based on Finn's dilemma, and criticism of moral development theory was given by Carol Weaver. Okay, so it is divided into three levels and six stages. Level: pre-conventional level, which is also known as distributive realism, 4 to 10 years of age. Then comes the conventional level, which is also known as moral realism, between age 10 to 13 years. And then is the post conventional level, which is moral cooperation, which is 13 years. Okay, six stages. Stage one, obedience and punishment. Stage two, instrumental purpose orientation, personal reward orientation, tit for tat, self interest, and individualism and extreme. Third stage, good interpersonal relationship, good boy, good girl stage. Then comes the law and order orientation. Fifth one, social contract orientation. And sixth is the universal principle. Vygotsky social cultural theory here try to construct their own new needs, which is social constructivism. Three basic elements of cognitive development are social interaction, culture, and language. Language is the tool to communicate. Without language, development is incomplete. Three basic elements: social interaction, culture, and language. Language is a tool to communicate. Now, three kind of speeches: social speech, private speech, and silent inner speech. Social speech 0 to 2 years, private speech 3 to 6 years, where the child self-guides. Silent inner speech up to 7. Three basic elements: social interaction, culture, and language. Three speeches: silent speech, social speech, and private speech. Social 0 to 2 years, private 3 to 6 years, and silent inner speech up to 7. Now, difference between Piaget and Leibniz. Piaget said that first development and then thought plan language. Okay. Okay, Piaggio and Wagner's the difference when we learn um, now important points. First is the level of control the people and is the joint of approximate level of actual development also known as IAD, whereas joint of proximal development is able to do with help. Scaffolding is the temporary help for child learning, whereas non-knowledgeable other is the person who provides the scaffolding. Scaffolding here is the temporary help for child learning, that is, which ZPD able to do with help. That help is known as scaffolding, and the person who provides that help is known as more knowledgeable other. More knowledgeable other word was given by Sharon Boone. Word was given by Sharon Boone. Okay. So now, level of actual development and then is the zone of proximal development. Things which a child is able to do with help. That help is known as scaffolding, any temporary help for child learning. And the person who provides that help is known as non-knowledgeable other. And this term was given by Jerome Poole. Now, critic of this theory is that it has lack of cultural relevance, role of genetics more explained. It is lack of cultural relevance, role of genetics more explained. Next is the slow rate of cognitive development by some child. Okay, so the social welfare theory do not explain lack of cultural relevance, role of genetics, and why some childs have slow rate of cognitive development. Also, there is no experimental test for this theory. Now, is the child centered and progressive. Can you please give me the best study tips? Hey, Gitan, one study tip that I wanted to give you is that try 25 to 50 minute focused sessions and then take like breaks, so 15 minutes and then 10 minutes break. This will improve your concentration. Also, put your phone away while studying. Put your phone away while you are studying. The phone is your like major distraction. Okay, so child-centered education. In child-centered education, the center will be child, and focus of teaching will be on psychology of child. Can be both diagnostic as well as remedial value. Nature of child-centered education is diagnostic as well as remedial. Then curriculum will be according to child level of learning. Okay. Child-centered education center child focus of teaching on psychology of child, both diagnostic as well as remedial. Curriculum will be framed according to the level of child learning. And here learning is done by doing, that is active learning. Teacher role as guide, as facilitator. John Locke said that child is a blank slate, which is known as tabula rasa. Child as blank slate, known as tabula rasa. Okay. So in child-centered education, focus for center will be on child. Focus of teaching will be in psychology of child, both diagnostic as well as remedial kind. Then curriculum will be framed according to the child level of learning, and learning will be done by doing, that is active learning. And teacher will play a role of guide or facilitator. John Locke said that a child is a blank slate, which is tabula rasa. Okay. Next is the progressive education concept is given by John Dewey. India, Giju by Gaduga. Okay. Progressive education concept was given by John Dewey. In India, it was given by Giju by Gaduga. Here, shift came from teacher-centered education to child-centered education, which means same child-centered education. Here we are discussing about progressive education concept was given by John Dewey. In India, it was given by Gijubhai Badeka. Shift from teacher-centered education to child-centered education. Shifted from teacher-centered education to child-centered education. Then education compulsory and universal. Learning should be collaborative and cooperative. Okay. Education must be compulsory and universal, and learning should be collaborative and social, active, and democratic. So, learning in progressive education, learning should be collaborative, cooperative, then social, active, and democratic. So, they emphasize here on textbook aim, concept understanding, focus on concept understanding instead of rote learning. Any suitable environment should be provided to the child for the education. Okay, so basic main points of progressive education is for child. Education is compulsory and universal. Collaborative and cooperative learning, social, active, and democratic learning. De-emphasis on textbook, concept understanding rather than rote learning. Now we will study about bipolar process of education and tripolar process. Bipolar process was given by Adam Hale, teacher and student. Tripolar process was given by John Dewey, teacher, independent, student, dependent, curriculum intermediate. So curriculum is added in tripolar process. So education here is tripolar, where teacher will be independent factor, student will be dependent factor, and curriculum will be here as an intermediate. Okay. Friedrich Frobel. Friedrich Frobel philosophy of education based on idealism. Then kindergarten concept was given first in Germany by Friedrich Frobel. Okay. So Friedrich Frobel gave the kindergarten concept. He is also the co-founder of Lewy method. Lewy method co-founder, kindergarten concept, and then philosophy of education book based on idealism. Maria Montessori, physician, educator, and humanitarian. No human is educated by another. Okay, with main points given by Maria Montessori. No human is educated by another man. Chief teacher of a child is hanged. Okay. Chief teacher of a child is hanged, and no human is educated by another man. And then Maria Montessori also compared child to a sponge which absorbs information. Compare child to sponge which absorbs information. Piaget moral development theory. Piaget moral development theory based on thinking stories. So moral development theory of Piaget is based on thinking stories, four stages, one enemy, second heteronomy, 5 to 8 years, third is okay. First one is the enemy, 0 to 5 years, then heteronomy authority, 5 to 8 years. 5 to 8 years. Then heteronomy reciprocity, 9 to 13 years. Morality cooptation. And fourth is the autonomy adolescence, that is 13 to 18 years morality. Okay, so four stages of enemy, hypernomy equality, hypernomy reciprocity, and adolescence, autonomy adolescence. 0 to 5 years, 5 to 8 years, 9 to 13 years, and 13 years. Four stages enemy, heteronomy, authority, heteronomy, reciprocity, autonomy, adolescence. 0 to 5 years, 5 to 8 years, 9 to 13 years, and 13 to 18 years. Okay. Then heteronomous 5 to 9 years and autonomous 9 to 13 years. Okay. So heteronomy authority is also known as heteronomous stage, whereas heteronomy reciprocity is also known as autonomous. Okay. Notes. Heteronomous, autonomous, heteronomous. Moral realism, which means rules cannot be changed. Divine life. Autonomous, moral relativism. In heteronomous, morality is outside, it is imposed. Autonomous morality internal. Heteronomous 5 to 9 years. Autonomous 9 to 13 years. Moral realism, moral preparation. Outside morality, internal morality. Heteronomous rules divine like. Autonomous, no divine like rules. Heteronomous, as rules are divine like, so morality is imposed. Imposed for a, then it is outside morality. Morality of constraint, that is, cannot be changed. and immanent justice. Okay. So heteronomous 5 to 9 years, moral realism, rules divine like, outside morality. Morality is imposed, morality of constraint and immanent justice. And opposite autonomous. Now, Guilford theory of intelligence, given by Joy Perlman. Guilford theory of intelligence was given by Joy Perlman, also known as operation content product theory, structuralist theory, and 3D model. Okay. Guilford theory of intelligence, enabling 3D model, 3D model to बोला content operation and proof. So 3D model, structuralist and content product operation theory. Operation content product theory, 3D model theory. In 1988, 180, 1967, 120. Intelligence, numerous mental abilities which are independent. Guilford theory of intelligence was given by Jordan, also known as operation content product theory, structuralist theory, and 3D model. Here, intelligence means numerous mental abilities which are independent. So, three things. One is the content, second is the operation, third is the product. Content one, two, three, four, five. Five content. Okay. In 1967, visual and auditory into figural. So four were there. Content, visual, auditory into figural, symbolic, semantic, and behavioral. Okay. Okay. So in content, visual, auditory, symbolic, semantic, and behavioral. In operation, memory retention, memory recording, divergent, convergent, evaluation, and cognition. Products will be unit, system, classes, relation, transformation, and implication. Transformation and implication. Products, units, as classes, system transformation, implication. Okay. Guilford theory of intelligence, given by John Paul, also known as operation, content, product theory, structuralist theory, 3D model theory. Intelligence, numerous mental abilities. In 1967, 120, in 1988, 150, and 180. That is 4 into 5 into 6, 5 into 5 into 6, 5 into 6 into 6. Okay. So content, figural, audio, visual, auditory, visual, symbolic, semantic, and behavioral. Operation, cognition, memory recording, memory retention, divergent, convergent, and evaluation. Product, unit, classes, relation, system, transformation, and implication. Forward cardinal, multi-dimensional. Logical mathematical means ability to reason, solve math, abstract thinking. Spatial ability to visualize object in space. Linguistic, okay, Howard Gardner said that intelligence is not a single general ability, but set of distinct abilities which are independent of each other. Not a single general ability, but set of distinct abilities which are independent of each other. Linguistic ability to use language,